The Nintendo Switch 2. Seems like everyone's been buzzing about it since was it January?
January, yeah. The initial reveal trailer, and then that Nintendo Direct we got just last week, and of course all those Treehouse presentations. A lot to cover.
There is. So, we figured, let's do what we do best. Let's take a deep dive into everything Switch 2. We're talking official announcements, leaks, those industry analyst hot takes, even some of the review considerations you guys have been sending our way.
It's been awesome seeing what you're all looking forward to checking out.
Absolutely. So let's try and extract the most important and interesting info for you all. Cut through that noise a bit.
Sounds good to me.
All right, so I guess first things first. Release date and price. Big questions right out the gate.
Of course. So June 5th, 2025. It's officially happening.
June 5th. Okay. Got it.
You'll be able to pick up the base model for $449 in many nights.
It's a little bit of a price hike.
Yeah, but there's also a bundle with Mario Kart World for $499.99.
Okay, good to know. Good to know. And pre-orders. When can people jump on that?
April 8th in the UK and Europe, and the following day, April 9th for North America.
Oh, and I almost forgot. I saw something about priority pre-orders for those Nintendo Switch Online members, right?
That's right. So if you're a loyal Nintendo Switch Online member, you're going to have a chance to snag one a little earlier than everyone else.
Nice. So, what is it they say? The proof is in the pudding.
Something like that.
Let's talk hardware. What are we actually getting here?
All right. Well, first off, you're going to notice the screen's bigger. It's a 7.9-inch 1080p LCD screen. Nice. They've added HDR10 and VRR support up to 120 hertz.
So smoother visuals, brighter colors, all that good stuff.
Exactly. The console itself is a little bit larger, 166 millimeters by 272 millimeters, but it's still pretty thin, 13.9 millimeters. That's the same thickness as the original Switch.
Okay, so, not too bulky.
Right. With the Joy-Cons attached, it weighs 534 grams.
Now, you mentioned those Joy-Cons. We got to talk about the Joy-Con 2s. What's new with them?
Oh, well, a lot, actually. First off, they attach magnetically now.
Oh, interesting.
They've got larger SL and SR buttons, which a lot of people were asking for.
Yeah, those were always a little fiddly.
The analog sticks are bigger, too, and hopefully more durable.
Oh, fingers crossed.
They even added mouse functionality to one of the Joy-Cons.
No way, like you can use it as a mouse cursor.
Yep, and then there's a C button, which is specifically for in-game chat.
Dedicated chat button, interesting. And will the original Joy-Cons work with the new system?
Yes, they will. They're still compatible wirelessly.
Okay, good. Now let's talk power. I've seen headlines touting like 10 times the graphics performance compared to the original Switch. What does that even mean for us, like for the games?
Well, that's a huge jump in processing power. You're going to be looking at, much more detailed visuals, potentially higher frame rates. We're talking potentially pushing some games close to what you'd see on the other consoles out there.
Okay, so graphically intense games, no problem.
Right, and all that's thanks to this custom NVIDIA processor they're using. Rumors say it's the T239.
The T239, got it.
And in terms of storage, you get 256 gigabytes of internal UFS storage right out of the box.
256, not bad at all.
And it's also compatible with microSD express cards, so you can expand the storage.
Nice. So we've got this beefed up system, a new dock. What's that going to be like for when we're playing on the big screen?
Well, you're going to be able to output up to 4K resolution at 60 frames per second. And they're even saying 124p is possible at lower resolutions. Wow.
120 FPS. That's impressive.
The new dock also has a built-in cooling fan.
Oh, okay. That's a welcome addition.
Yeah.
Definitely.
And you've got 2 USB 2.0 ports and a LAN port.
All right, so wired internet connection, always a plus.
Especially for those, for those intense online gaming sessions.
Yeah, for sure. All right, so what about the audio? Any improvements there?
They've actually made some pretty nice upgrades on the audio front. The stereo speakers are supposed to be much better.
Okay.
And they've added spatial 3D sound for when you're in handheld or tabletop mode.
Oh, that's cool.
And with that new C button for game chat, they've also included a built-in microphone with noise and echo cancellation.
So no more sounding like you're in a wind tunnel.
Hopefully not.
All right, let's like games. We saw that game key card thing. What's the deal with that?
Yeah, that's a new one. So it's essentially a physical key for a digital download.
Okay.
So you need an internet connection to initially redeem the game, and then the card has to be inserted to play it offline.
Interesting. So it's like a hybrid approach.
Exactly. And the cases for games that use these cards are going to have a white banner on them, so you'll know what to look for.
Okay, so white banner game key card. Got it. Now, what about those classic cartridges? Are those still a thing?
Yeah, for standard physical games, they're sticking with cartridges, but they're going to be on these faster red cartridges.
Faster red cartridges.
And then for managing your digital games, it seems like they're introducing something called virtual game cards. We don't know a ton about that yet, but it could be like a way to organize your digital library.
Okay, well, that'll be interesting to see how that develops.
Absolutely.
So let's talk about everyone's favorite topic, price.
Ah, yes, the inevitable price discussion.
Yeah, I mean, we saw Mario Kart World listed at $79.99, and then Donkey Kong Bonanza at $69.99. Are we looking at like a $70 price point for new games now?
It's looking that way, yeah.
Okay. What about, like, people who already have games on the Switch? Are there going to be upgrade options?
They have mentioned upgrade paths for some existing Switch games, but they haven't given us any specifics on pricing just yet.
Okay, so stay tuned on that one.
Exactly.
All right, so launch day, June 5th, what are we going to be playing?
Well, of course, you've got Mario Kart World. That's, that's a given.
Gotta have that Mario Kart.
And then they're also releasing enhanced versions of Breath of the Wild and Tears of the Kingdom. Oh, nice. And then a little later in the summer, July 17th, we get Donkey Kong Bonanza. And then sometime in 2025, we're supposed to be getting Metroid Prime 4 Beyond.
Metroid 4, finally.
It's been a long time coming.
It has. Now, for our online subscribers, the Nintendo Switch Online plus expansion pack folks, anything new for them?
Yeah, actually there is. They're launching a new service called GameCube Classics.
Oh, wow. GameCube games. That's a blast from the past.
Right, so you'll be able to play titles like The Legend of Zelda, The Wind Waker, and Super Mario Sunshine.
Awesome.
And to go along with that, they're even releasing a dedicated wireless GameCube controller.
Well, really? A wireless GameCube controller?
Yeah, and it even has that C button for game chat. You can customize the button layouts too.
Wow, that's, can we talk about catering to the nostalgic crowd?
Right, and they're going to be adding more GameCube games over time, so it's not just those two at launch.
All right, so we've got release date, price, hardware, games. Final question. When the reviewers get their hands on this thing, what will be the make or break points?
Well, there are a few things that immediately come to mind. First off, they've got to address that Joy-Con drift issue.
Yeah, that's been plaguing the Switch since day one.
Right, so hopefully the new Joy-Cons have solved that problem.
Fingers crossed.
Another big thing is just how smooth the overall experience is. The interface, the loading times, all of that.
Yeah, and that new full width stand, is it actually an improvement?
Hopefully it makes tabletop mode a lot more enjoyable.
All right, so it sounds like we've got a lot to look forward to with the Switch 2. Enhanced graphics, new ways to play, and of course, Nintendo's always got those innovative games up their sleeves.
It definitely seems like they're building on the success of the original Switch in some really interesting ways.
So here's something for everyone to think about. With all these advancements and that new $450 price tag, how do you think this Switch 2's, that hybrid nature is going to change the way you play?
And what about those game key cards? Do you think that's, is that a sign of things to come? Like, is physical media on its way out?
Big questions. Lots to ponder as we wait for June 5th. Thanks for joining us on this.
Absolutely. It's been a pleasure.
We'll catch you all next time.